Yeah. Good morning, good noon, good evening, whatever time and place you're listening to us from. Straight from the 909, it's Mark, Ali, myself, Isaiah, and together,
That's hip hop.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Today, we're once again discussing an artist who holds a pivotal place in the hip hop genre. Renowned for his intricate wordplay, vivid storytelling, and gritty realism. Pusha T, Terrence Thornton. Rising to prominence as one half of the critically acclaimed duo Clipse. Alongside his brother, No Malice, Pusha T's early work with the Neptunes produced timeless tracks that balanced mainstream appeal with street credibility. His solo career, marked by his albums like My Name, and Daytona, has cemented his reputation as a lyrical heavyweight, unafraid to delve into the harsh realities of street life while showcasing his sharp wit, and dexterous flow. We're discussing the third studio album, Daytona, released on May 25th, 2018 by Good Music and Def Jam Recordings. The album features guest appearances from Rick Ross, Kanye West, and the uncredited additional vocals by Tony Williams and 070 Shake. Kanye West also served as executive producer and produced all of the tracks with additional production from Andrew Dawson and Mike Dean. Daytona is the first of 5 albums produced by West in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, in what became known as the Wyoming Sessions, released in 2018, with the 7-track album being released every week. The album preceded the release of West's 8th studio album, Yay, West's collaboration with Kid Cudi, titled Kids See Ghost. This was the 11th studio album, and also the 11th studio album from Nas, which is Nasir, and Tiana Taylor's 2nd studio album, KTSE. It was supported with the lead single, What Would Meek Do? It debuted at number 3 on the Billboard US 200, and the length of this album was a whole 21 minutes and 8 seconds.
Easy listen.
Great listen. Totally the opposite from the last episode we did, which was, I don't know, like an hour and some
like 70
change.
minutes.
Yeah. So today it was Ali's choice on Daytona. Tell me a little bit why you chose Daytona for us today, Ali.
Yeah, man. I mean, in my personal top 5, Pusha T is in my personal top 5. Not the top 5 that, everybody else has or who I really think are the actual best. I'm just my personal 5 favorite rappers. Pusha T is in that list.
Okay.
And for a lot of people, they're like, really? Pusha T? Listen, lyrically, he's incredible. But another reason why Push is one of my favorites, I feel like I kind of grew up listening to Push from the Clipse coming out. We were like, freshmen in high school, so that album was fire. And then, my freshman year in college, Clipse dropped Hell Hath No Fury.
Yeah.
But even before that, they had the Re-Up Gang. They dropped, I think, 2 mixtapes. We Got It for Cheap series.
Yeah.
Wow, those mixtapes were crazy. So I followed that entire run and up until the last Clipse album, until the Casket drops. And then when he goes solo, signs to Good Music, I'm like, oh, Pusha T, Kanye. That's an interesting pair. But then again, I should have put 2 and 2 together. Well, if he was able to work with Pharrell this long, him and Kanye should be able to work too. Yeah. And in the beginning, it wasn't a perfect fit in the beginning, even though he had a great verse on Kanye's album. But as far as his first couple projects, they were okay. But My Name Is My Name, I feel like is where he hit his stride. But Daytona in particular is just, in my opinion, a perfect album. Mm-hmm. Perfect in length, perfect. He didn't waste a single bar. He didn't waste a single beat. Everything was perfectly placed. Of all those Kanye Wyoming albums, this is by far the best one.
It left you wanting more for sure.
Right. I mean, you wanted a few more songs on there. Yeah. Kanye just had this thing at the time where he was just stuck on 7. He just was on the number 7.
Number.
Yeah. He was
trying to be a god, Pusha.
He was on.
I'm a god.
He was really, really on that. That was really his mind frame at that time. So with him being stuck on 7, they actually, before they finished the album, they wanted to look up how long an album had to be considered for a Grammy. Mm-hmm. So they said you had to have a minimum of 5 tracks and it had to be a minimum of 15 minutes. So if it's at least 15 minutes and at least 5 songs, you can enter it for best rap album, et cetera, et cetera. So once they found those parameters, they fit pretty much those parameters with the 7 songs in 21 minutes, and it's an incredible work. I mean, we're gonna get into the cover, the content. You know, the final song set off another great beef. You know what I mean? But even past that, I just remember that time I played this album over and over and over again. I couldn't stop playing it. It was just that good for me.
Yeah. What about you, Mark? What was your intro like to this album or Pusha T, which is the one you want?
Oh man, so with Pusha T was listening to the Clipse, and after listening to the Clipse about 1 or 2 times, or like even listening to a majority of their albums, you instantly are placed in a good mood. And as far as like when guys listen to this, it's like a literal confidence boost. Tracks like I'm Good, I'm Good, Mr. Me Too. Like, I got to say something too, is that you guys just be glad that that Lord Willin' was just that damn good, because Till the Casket Drops is a really good album.
It is.
And Hell Hath No Fury
Another
is a
one.
really great
Those are
album.
both great.
He just said he's in the business of making classics. So that's what he's doing.
It's just, oh my gosh. It's like Ali mentioned as well, I was at a point where you're following the trajectory of the Clipse. You're just waiting for project after next project. And it really, the third act of this whole thing with me, like pretty much just ended with Till the Casket Drops, because I was listening to Hell Hath No Fury like crazy. Keys Open Doors is a banger for sure. And I don't even sell drugs.
No.
But it's like you just feel like a kingpin listening to that.
Exactly.
Like you feel you have weight in the trunk and you're like, oh man, I hope the cops don't pull me over. But the only weight that you have in the trunk is the sound that you're bumping, because it's the Clipse.
That's it, man.
I've never seen somebody so cleverly say a message, so many different angles, so many different metaphors of ways of saying it and playing with it. Just the entendres, like this very skilled lyricist that you're witnessing, and you might not get that the first jump or the first spin. Like you might think, oh, he's just a drug rapper, but this dude is spinning it, using it as a metaphor, using it like and playing with it, like very lyrical in that sense. And I also like just everything that he's about in regards to, like, he said something to the fact like, you know, I'll never make a Hotline Bling song.
No.
I'll never do that.
Never.
I'm not into that. It's not me.
Interested.
I don't care for it.
Nope.
I don't want it.
No. I mean, we'll touch on it later on.
He
but
likes the luxury. He likes the street grit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, he marriages those two things just like a Scorsese flick. Like he puts that together like a movie, you know, and it brings you there like a Vice City. Like it brings you in that world, which is really cool to get just the sounds of that. Even he's very tasteful when it comes to making you feel the imagery that he's spitting, kicking to you.
So artistic, man.
Yeah, very, very. So I think like when I first heard him, obviously I heard the first song, of course, I heard was going to be Grinding. Yeah. But after hearing it the first time, you know, that's what I kind of got. The first surface level was just like, oh, you know, just rapping about drugs, I guess. Yeah. But then you start to like hear him again. I'm like, oh, he's doing another drug song. Okay. You know, Coke, I guess. Yeah. And, well, it's another Coke song. Okay. Like, it's like, I didn't get it. I was just like, dude, and there's so much other things.
You talk about something else?
There's so much other things to talk about. But now when looking back at it, it's like, it's kind of cool. Like he found what his subject, or what he found his audience, and he knows who his audience is, and he delivers to them, right? And he is able to do it again and again and again, differently in different ways.
It never gets tiring, ever.
Just like a painter who would paint, you know, landscape or something, it does it different, like, or kind of has their niche, and he's found that. Like he is the best at kingpin rap.
There's no comparison.
Yeah.
Looking at the sphere of hip hop, you'll see people in different, if you look at the far ends of this sphere, it's just different categories, right?
Yeah.
You know, the Clipse or the Malice and Pusha T collectively at one point were on the furthest end of the drug reference, the drug reference sphere of this.
Right.
And you take someone that like, oh, not all rappers rap like that. Well, see Necro in the gore, core rap,
Immoral Technique
in the pseudo psychological political realm. Right. You know, there's people that are going to be touching those ends, but as you know, when they touch those ends, you can definitively place them there, and ultimately know where their style is.
Yeah, and you know, kind of what you're going to get. It's just like, okay, it still surprises you though, because just like, how are you going to spin it this time?
Right.
Like, you know, what's
that's
the new
appeal.
Because he'll do that same like subject matter, but he'll update it and make it fresh to today.
Yep.
And,
you know,
and people that are in the most center, those are the ones that don't make an impact.
Right.
You kind of will have to pick an end or be near it.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Otherwise you're kind of boring. We've heard that. You know? Yeah. So you're correct about that too. I think that there was a special dynamic, him working with Kanye. That was also a very special pairing. Like you said, Ali, I think it did take some time for them to kind of gel and get that figured out. But once they did figure it out, I think it was a really perfect dynamic duo. I mean, Kanye Taylor making these beats to Pusha T was like, dude, because that's not typically, I don't typically hear that as a sound. I think it's one of the sides to Kanye West where he does like that crack music. But Kanye West has been known to be more soulful, you know, more like positive, I guess, in that sense. And so it's interesting that Kanye kind of delved deeper into that crack music sound. Oh yeah, you know, which was cool because that is a side of Kanye.
Yeah.
So that aspect is cool.
What I really like, and I'd really want your guys' perspective on this, but the fact that they're recording in a state.
Oh yeah.
That has probably more cows and animals than they do people.
Yeah.
What do you guys say to that as far as the creative process goes? Where just being in a desolate area, how that can come into play.
Yeah, Kanye, he I mean, during that Wyoming era, he really wanted to be somewhere where he can focus, strictly music, no distractions, no paparazzi, no, distractions, no outside noise.
We know how he feels about the paparazzi.
You know what I mean? So it's got none of that in Wyoming. And then not only that, in Wyoming did they just record the albums. I mean, he shot videos there. They did all the album release parties were done in Wyoming. Oh, so for each album, a couple days before it came out, the industry had to come to Wyoming to check these albums out. From Push to Nas to his album, the him and Cudi album, all of them had album releases in Wyoming. He was just on this kick of being away from it all, but just focusing on the music. That's why Push was like, the album, even though it was so, I mean, he's like, it's boring and nothing to do over here. But he said, creatively, it was some of my best work because I had nothing else to do but be better. Yeah. Like, I had nothing else. He was challenging me with these beats. He really, really was. He said he was so certain on the beats he wanted. He had a whole bunch of beats and he scrapped a bunch. Then he did more and he finally found what he said. He said he wanted to make his version of Only Built for Cuban Links.
You know what I think is found, what is pretty funny about not even just Kanye, but about some people who are very talented artists. Like when they work together and try to collab, it's sometimes not right away, like the magic works.
Oh yeah, no.
It's not always a Dre and Eminem where instantly 8 minutes you got something banged out. I've heard a story of Pusha T talking about when he first kind of interacted with Kanye making music together, that, there was about 7 days that passed in Utah where they're just kind of like chilling, doing stuff. No music, no music has been made. And I've heard this too similarly with Common. Common said something about Kanye. He had to really get a sleep. He was tired. Kanye was super tired. And he was just like, had to crash out on the couch. And Common was like, man, I thought we were going to do some work today and record. And it was fine, like get some sleep. But Common said as soon as he woke up, he kind of came to see what Common was doing. And he kind of just like sat down, just kind of touched some things. Also just made some magic and made one of the beats on his album. That's The Corner, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just whipped out The Corner after he was in Dreamland.
Best beats. Came to him in his sleep.
Yeah, just like,
not the chorus
the
out
power
too.
of sleep. But no,
sleep.
But I think that's also just, it's one of the little, things about working with, special artists, particularly Kanye, very impulsive. Sometimes, I think he might be difficult to work with too, because he has a high bar of expectation as well, sonically, as well as artistically. But I like the fact that Pusha T kind of allows him to do that, allows him to be in his sphere and take creative control while he focuses on what he does, which is deliver that crack, like music, and that not real crack. I'm just saying music. That lyrically,
the product.
that is pretty dope. That they teamed up together. Style wise, Pusha T, I think we kind of touched on it a little bit. But what do you guys think style wise? Your own unique perspective of Pusha T's style.
Go ahead, Mark.
One of my points to bring up was streetwise wisdom.
Yeah.
So you can deliver killer punchlines. You can do all that. But if you're just rapping about drugs and not being lyrical, you're going to be pushed to the side to a certain extent with the lyrical audience.
Yeah.
Clipse collectively, I want to actually include them both because, as much as the solo effort as this is, you really can't get away from them without associating.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. They're in constant communication. Yeah. And like, even to your point on that, really quick, No Malice said something when he did Infrared. He's telling Pusha, speak to his soul. No Malice is telling him this. Speak to his soul. That's how you address it. Speak to his soul. So to your point, they're one in one. Almost.
We get this streetwise wisdom and lyricism together. So you're rapping about drugs. You're associating drugs, but you're just not saying, "Yo, I got white like polar bears." No, he's just saying he's explaining how white it gets. He's explaining. He's explaining it every 1,000 ways, but that takes a lot of variety. That takes mixing up punches. That takes, entendres, wordplays. You have to have it, is what I mean. You have to have it lyrically to be that special in that regard, because you're only playing one, you're only playing one instrument. That instrument is the drug rap game.
Yeah.
And that's the main point I'd like to bring across with Pusha T, and even with No Malice to a certain extent, where they're just really good at doing that. But that's what we love about them, and that's what really separated them from the pack.
Yeah, I would say that he's talking about drugs and stuff, but like when you watch movies, there's drugs in there, and you like the movie, right? You like Goodfellas, you like Tony Montana.
Yeah,
like,
this has too much cocaine in it, but damn, Scarface is a really good film.
Right, you like Wolf of Wall Street. So like, there's elements of this, yes, but I think the fact that, Pusha T can really create stories, he's creating vivid imagery, but he's also using it really to represent, like metaphors, using it to represent like how he's coming into the rap industry, like how he's dishing in the rap industry. So it's like one big giant metaphor even to how he's hustling. Like, even if you just break it down to the basic fundamental of hustling, like you can take away that from this. There's bars that you're getting, which are like clever. They're witty. They're like, you have to know your hip hop history to deliver some of these bars that he's delivering. He's one that appreciates Tupac and Biggie. He said, "There's no ghost I'm chasing other than Tupac and Biggie."
That's what he said in the diss.
So that's also something to really kind of think about. Like he admires Jay-Z. He admires these guys that came before him that are similar style, similar to the Kingpin-ish, type of style. But Pusha T is just taking it further to another level. And I think his voice is great, very articulate. Like, if you hear this guy in an interview, he can articulate what he's trying to say very well.
Absolutely.
And it takes that type of mind to be able to, vice versa, to articulate things in a vague way, whereas you're not ratting yourself out. You know what I mean? It takes a clever mind to do that.
Absolutely.
And we've seen rappers where they have 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Yeah.
You could still see who is actually working while they're rapping.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Pusha and Malice collectively, you could tell, at one point they did allegedly do some stuff, but you could see that they got 10 toes in the rap game.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
distinct difference.
Absolutely. I mean, that was their story. I mean, Push wasn't interested in rapping until his brother got into it. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're like 4 or 5 years apart. So, you know, Malice was really out there, you know, trying to make his name as a rapper. And he was really close with Pharrell and Timbaland, you know, all in that Virginia area.
What a network.
You know what I mean? Virginia
I know.
Beach, you know what I mean? It's something. That's why Pharrell made the festival Something in the Water, because there's something in the water over there. Like that Virginia Beach area, from Timbaland to Missy to Genuine to Pharrell, all of them. So Clipse. So that was his end to the rap game, was, you know, Malice being down with Pharrell. And then I think he went to the Army or something. And I think from there, that's when Push started to kind of get his foot, not just in the dope game allegedly, but also the rap game with Pharrell. Pharrell was the one that kind of was like, yo, man, come to the studio. Like, get. I know what you're doing there. It's cool, but
Legendary
let's
producer.
rap.
He's worked with some of the best of them.
That's what he's always said.
Pharrell, Kanye, Jay-Z.
He said, I only work with greats.
Yeah, he's worked with a lot of good, and he's hit it out the park too. Because I mean, when Kanye gave him that song to jump on
Runaway.
I mean, he delivered.
What a
You know,
verse.
that was a perfect verse for the track. It's what the track needed. You know, Self, I talked a little bit about that. It's what this track needed.
Yeah.
And he delivered on that, man.
Absolutely.
Epic song, epic production.
Push can't do it. I mean, I've seen him in concert twice. He can't perform without doing that.
Yeah.
He has to do Runaway. He can't Runaway and Grinding. I don't care what else he got going on.
Those are big hitters.
He has to do Grinding. He has to do Runaway.
Yeah.
Regardless.
The time me and Dre, we actually went to Utah to go see Diggable Planets.
Yeah.
It was one of those concerts where, like, whichever act was promoting the event, they would say, oh, we're here tonight at this event, but they wouldn't tell you who's headlining if they weren't.
Yeah.
And Pusha T was headlining, but Diggable Planets was there too.
Oh.
And so it was a good,
Interesting,
it was a good added plus. I was like, yeah, well, for sure we're staying for Pusha T.
Yeah.
Because that's when he was going on his little solo venture.
Right.
But yeah, it was.
And he handles
dude,
it too,
he
performance wise.
performed it.
He handles it on his
He's
own
a
too.
great performer.
Yeah, he handles it on his
He's
own.
on time. He's timely. Like, he performs like it's a job.
Right.
He's clocking in. He's doing these songs, and you get up out of there. I love his concerts.
Looking at you, Lauryn Hill.
This is like the 4th episode.
Bro,
Mark has been
I cannot wait.
It's
I can't
ridiculous.
wait.
It is ridiculous, though. It just is.
Talking about the album cover, the album cover has its own. I mean, Kanye West, you know, made the decision, the top dog decision, on making this the album cover.
Can I be real with this on the first take?
Go ahead.
So, one of my I subscribe to a lot of YouTube channels, right? But my main thing is like I really like looking at when people go to like foreclosed mansions and like explore. This looks like footage from a foreclosed mansion.
Yeah.
And they're actually zooming in on the kitchen like it was
Yeah.
just unkept.
Yeah, like if you see this on Judge Judy, like this is how they left it. Like,
Yeah, seriously.
but yeah. So let me describe this for those who are listening. So what we're looking at is, and this is the album cover. What we're looking at is an image of Whitney Houston's bathroom. Which is very luxurious as far as like the tile, the cupboards, the gold faucet handles, and you know, you can see like a lot of her, you know, fancy stuff, whether it's jewelry, makeup. This is a very pixelated image that I have, but in the mix of all that chaos, you have the drugs, you have cocaine, you have other things in here. I think maybe alcohol and perhaps. There's just a lot going on in that mix. A lot of stuff that makes you think, you know, she's had some struggles, which obviously we know she has, and she's admitted that, you know, to her own, give her credit, you know, because it takes one to realize that of yourself, and she's openly admitted that.
She did.
So that was kind of a big deal because the Whitney Houston estate didn't appreciate that, didn't really like that.
Absolutely not. Understandably so.
Right, but I get also why it was chosen to be the cover. You know, I think Pusha T has talked about this because it represented, you know, the luxurious point to the album, as well as like the street level of how dirty and grimy it could be
So like
with drug, you know, infestation. in the streets, and the impact it has on people's lives. It doesn't matter whether you're living the high lifestyle or not. Like, it still is gonna get, like, the infiltration will still get the best of us.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys thought?
Yeah, I got three things. One, just a quick story on the cover.
Yeah.
Push said he went and shot a whole cover. Like,
yeah.
I did a photo shoot.
He already had it all picked out.
We're gonna do. I took
the title
pictures.
picked out.
Is everything like we're doing this? And then literally in the middle of this photo shoot, Kanye texts him like, "Yo,
1 a.m.
Yeah, that's not gonna be the cover. Like, this is gonna be the cover."
Yeah.
Like, what?
He wanted to go with the title King Push, I believe, for this album.
Originally.
Yeah.
And then they went with Daytona, as in it was a play on the luxury of time.
Yeah. But it's such a genius move, though, too, because even though, it would be dope to have an album King Push and Pusha T on the album cover, this does, for some reason, hit stronger as far as the message. Like, it's a visual, artistic representation of the actual album. Like, I feel like when I'm listening to it, that's like visually representing what I'm listening to.
Yeah, and then one other thing, he said it was also supposed to represent organized chaos.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what it is. Like, it's a bathroom. It's where obviously you get clean, but obviously it's stuff everywhere, and you got the drugs in there and all of that. And I didn't plan this T-shirt.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't plan this with the Bobby Brown shirt.
I just was like thinking about it right now. I was like,
literally just grabbed this. This wasn't planned. Bobby Brown didn't appreciate it either. He was very, very, very upset. But I mean, Kanye paid for the picture. Really wasn't much they could do.
I'm speaking out of this out of the inexperience. Was this the last day photo?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
It's just regular.
It's just a bathroom of her house. Because remember, she passed in a hotel.
Yeah.
This was just her house.
Right.
Just a random.
And he paid pretty penny for that. He mentioned it was like $85,000.
Crazy money
For the photo?
For the
just
license
for the picture.
of that photo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know where he found it. I don't know how he got
I was
it.
like, no wonder he didn't put any font or anything. He's like, I'm getting all the real estate of this photo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Put the picture on.
The title Daytona. I mean, what do you guys think as far as like the connection to the album of that?
Well, like I said, when Push said it stood for Rolex Daytona being his favorite watch, and he said there was a metaphor of the luxury of time in the sense that he doesn't have to rush to put music out because
that's the best feeling too.
Because of all the moves he's made with Kanye and business ventures and this, that, and third, to where I can put out an album every 2-3. I don't have to rush to put albums out. Like, I think his last album came out about 2.5 years before this one. Yeah. So he does, like, Push doesn't make albums every year. It's like, I think it went like 2013,
I think
15,
that's okay
18.
Because, like, I don't know if albums are meant to be put out every year. Like, how do you live and really talk about something real if you're not?
What do you have to talk about? I mean, when you take 2-3 years off in between, you got something to talk about.
Yeah, right.
So that was, the plan in between the last album and this one. So that was the metaphor, the luxury of time.
It's dope album cover. So now we're going to go into the second portion of our podcast, which is where we dissect the lyrics. We talk about the 3 tracks that we chose. On this one, it was 7 tracks in total of the album. So we chose like really kind of like
half the album.
Yeah, almost half the album.
We literally picked half the album.
So for those who don't know, that's what we do. And this is also a good time. Just want to remind you that, if you're not following us, please feel free to follow us. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, this is what we do. We end up talking about the artist's impact. We talk about hip hop, genre, primarily. And then we go into, their style, we pick apart like just their impact on the music genre. And then we go into the tracks. We talk about the rhymes. We talk about the content of what they're spitting, what they're using, the style. So we go into all that stuff. So you guys can check us out. We have quite a bit of episodes out now. I think about 68-ish episodes right now at the moment. And we're going artist by artist, album by album.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know too many hip hop podcasts that are doing it like that for free right now. You know what I mean? So some things to consider.
Yeah. There's going to be at one point, I remember me and Isaiah were discussing this yesterday over drinks and beer. Oh, drinks and food, drinks and beer. Yeah, drinks and beer.
Jeez.
We we ended up talking about, I was like, man, what are we gonna do when we're like 80 years old and we've covered everything? Ladies and gentlemen, that was hip hop.
Yeah.
And we just close off with the last episode.
That
And
was.
we did it all.
I saw Mark at the final episode. We'll be like, what's there else to cover? I'm like, that's it.
Well, we did them all.
That's it.
All the albums.
That's it.
That
Well,
was
thankfully,
hip-hop.
between the mainstream, the underground,
Yeah.
from 1980 something to 2024
Right.
and beyond,
There's a lot of cracks.
there's gonna be a lot to cover.
to
So
still get into
for sure.
for sure.
That was hip hop.
Yeah, we're gonna go to all the local artists. Like we're gonna cover everybody. No, just kidding. But yeah, this is a good time to follow us. Check out the show, man. We've been talking about hip hop for all our lives, really. I feel like each one of us are hip hop, and when it comes down to it. But on top of that, we also got a couple other things going on. This is a good time to plug. Mark has a pin business. We're going to be putting on the link on there pretty soon. But talk a little bit about that and how they can find you.
In recent news, I want to say peace to Cream Soda Supply for allowing the Notorious Pin to have a pin board at their kiosk in the Ontario Mills Mall.
Oh, that's dope.
So now we're at the Ontario Mills Mall,
Oh, yeah,
ever expanding the
Jeez.
territory, and hopefully, if they eat, I eat, and we all eat. So that's
Everybody eats, B.
That's what. That's what I want. That's the main mission. Every time that someone joins alongside us. So peace to I'm gonna gotta do peace to all of them now.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Peace to
Peace to the shop in downtown Pomona, aka 3 Big Games. Peace to Toys of the Universe. Peace to Tony Torres at Frankensons. Peace to Game Hogs, and peace to Game Tower, and that's all of them.
Dang.
Yeah, so we're ever expanding.
Also, Ali got some book out, and that's something that's also pretty dope. I've been kind of actually wanting to check it out myself to see, just like the pin, man. I know Ali's a very smart guy, but talk a little bit about that, Ali, and just how they can find that.
Well, it's definitely my first poetry book, Restoring the Feeling. Actually, the title was inspired by Jay-Z, a Jay-Z line. What he say? It's like he said, "What's the deal?" It's like New York's been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. I got to restore the feeling. So that part inspired that title. But yeah, it's a poetry book. On the romantic side, brother got a heart. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, check it out anywhere you can find books digitally. Amazon, iTunes, Barnes and Noble. Put it on your phone, your iPad, your Kindle. It's all there. Check it out.
Sick. All right, so guys, we're going to go ahead and get into it. The 3 tracks that we chose today were Come Back Baby, Santeria, and Infrared. It's going to be a good one. So I want to give an honorable mention to If You Know, You Know.
Man.
Yep.
If You Know, what a great way to start off this
Be like,
album.
Absolutely.
Beat is hot, as well as Pusha T doing his thing on that.
Mhm.
I also did like, man, all these tracks, to be honest. The Game We Play was also another dope one,
Fire.
hard hitting. Just has such a great gritty sound with the luxurious, like you could feel it sonically and everything. The hard piano was also dope, and now it lands back to Come Back Baby. So we're gonna go ahead and get into that. Just want to mention again, these tracks were produced by Kanye, so he had his hand on all these tracks.
Yep.
Ali mentioned off air that we're still waiting for something to top this producer wise since
Since this
Something to
point,
that-
Oh yeah, this was his. This is his last great production for sure. Easily.
yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean,
As far as a full
some
project.
people like Donda, the Donda projects. I mean, they were cool, but I don't know. You're right. There's something different about this. It felt like he was more into it at that moment.
it's a better aspect when you're doing the work for another artist.
True. Yeah, true. Because it allows you to kind of focus on the beat.
Yes.
You're producing part of it. So we started to the intro. This is the Mighty Hannibal. I want to talk to all you addicts out there that got yourself a great big Jones and you done tried all the methadone, and you just can't leave the heroin alone. I wonder, have you tried? Verse 1. I'll go ahead and read that one. Dope just touched down. I'm so grateful. Number so low, bitch, be thankful. They say don't let money change you. That's how we know money ain't you.
Out the gate.
Yeah. Bitch, I've been had. Bitch, it's been bad. We buy big boats. Bitch, I'm Sinbad. Just all that B iteration.
Word playing
Love
with
it.
Sinbad.
Right. And listen to all those B's. Bitch, I've been had. Bitch, it's been bad. We buy big boats. Bitch, I'm Sinbad.
Dr. Seuss in his grave like, whoa, shit. Okay.
Spitting.
Downright sinful, bitch. We been full. All my dope boys, we like kinfolk. Be more, burnt spoon, DC glass pipe, VA, St. Bales, about that trap life. Blew through thousands, we made millions. Cocaine soldiers, once civilians. Bought hoes, Hondas, took care of children. Let my pastor build out buildings.
Wow.
Like I like the investment profit margin where he's blew through thousands, but we made millions.
Right, correct. Yep. Yeah. I noticed that. Yeah. And then lending the pastor some money so he could build his building.
Wow.
You know, what pastor ain't trying to build a building, you know?
Coke money in the building fund? Oh, man.
Rapped on classics. I've been brilliant. Now we blend in and we chameleons.
Dope.
Yeah, very dope.
Super dope. And then this second
That's the one thing about it.
this second verse, I love that ad lib. It just represents disgust.
Yeah.
That's why I love this second verse. I love this verse. I gotta go with this. He goes, "Who else got the luxury to drop when he want? Cause nobody else could fuck with me. What a show off. Wrist for wrist, let's have a glow off. Fuck it, brick for brick, let's have a blow off. If we go by connections made, I can still climb ladders when complexions fade. Yeah. White on white, that's the tester. Black on black, that's the Tesla. See these diamonds in this watch face? All that shit came from pressure. They say don't miss you. They say they don't miss you till you gone with the wind.
Metaphors right there. Just even the diamond play.
Yeah.
Yes. They don't miss you till you gone with the wind, and they tired of dancing like a yin-yang twin. You can't have the yin without the yang, my friend. Real is bring balance to the game, my man. Yeah. Can't escape the scale if I tried. Interstate trafficking's alive. Push. Like.
And I just, there's lyrics that you end up getting more that you read them out loud. This is the benefit to having a hip-hop podcast that actually delves into this. Right. The white on white, that's the testa. Now the testa is an allusion to the Testarossa. The car, was it the Lamborghini, the Testarossa, if I'm not mistaken? No, Ferrari. The Ferrari Testarossa.
Yeah, Ferrari Testarossa. Yep, you're right.
So made famous by Miami Vice.
Also, white on white, the tester, which is the drug sample.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That first sample, you taste, see if it's pure.
I like the play to the Yin Yang Twins, like a good homage to them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no.
They had the clubs rocking. Can't deny what Yin Yang Twins was doing.
And when he's talking about bringing balance, and then he can't escape the scale if I tried.
Oh yeah.
So
that was crazy.
So
right there.
balancing your life, but remember, in every courthouse,
right?
You have the balance of the scale with the
such a
justice is blind kind of thing,
and also the triple beam scale where you're weighing your drugs. Like it's just he finds the clever ways to bring them. Like it could be a much deeper metaphor, but the drug metaphor is still going to be in there. If you dig it, it's still going to be there. Yeah. Like that's
kind
what
of
makes
the fun
it so
part
dope.
about it. Yeah, that it's still there too. That's that layer that sticks there.
It's amazing, man.
Is there another verse on this one?
There's verse 3. Still fresh off the boat. Don't make me super soaked. Your life ends with a quote. The good die young. All dogs go to heaven. It's really just mamas falling out with the reverend. I play musical chairs
so
with
real.
these squares.
He just brought it down to like level ground, like to a real thing. Like
I played musical chairs with these squares. Rich Flair before they was Ric Flairs. Woo! Cocaine concierge, longest running.
Hey, see, like I don't know who else puts out. Who else can say a bar like this that just hits as hard as Pusha T spitting it?
Nobody.
The Ric Flair thing and going into all this with the cocaine concierge. Who can spit that bar that hard like Pusha T?
Nuts.
I don't know.
I just don't see it hitting as hard as Pusha T spitting this bar.
Because if you start rapping kind of like this and you're not coming off even better,
right?
people are gonna be like, "Oh, you sound like
You
so and so."
just trying to be Pusha T. Knock it off.
Stood the test of time like Dapper Dan. Seasoned my sauce like Zatarans.
You know, I want to say this too about Pusha T, like, because he was so early on talking about, like, you know, I guess drugs in this manner, in this way, and you know, some who don't understand or don't get it, you know, knock him for that. But at the same time, he has also kind of started this subgenre with the whole trap thing.
Oh, for sure.
There's like backpackers who have turned trappers now, you know, rapping similarly to like how Pusha T and No Malice did it, you know, more current, you know, and I think they probably owe that to Pusha T.
Oh, I mean, that connection, I mean, that's what made the Neptunes and Star Trek, that's what made that whole mix so perfect because you had the street world, but you also had, you know, Pharrell,
the commercial
you know, with the commercial success of it, and you had skaters listening to it, and it didn't matter if you were a quote unquote backpacker or a quote unquote street dude. That the marriage was perfect.
And like a wide variety too, because they even had NERD.
Come on,
like it was kind of like a rock band at some sort.
Exactly.
Right. Just wanted to mention that.
Season my sauce like Zatarans. Is he still in the caravan? No. Is a Mill in the caravan? Whoa. Richard Mill on the leather band? Oh. Behind the wheel like an ambulance?
Who's Richard Mill on the leather band?
The watch.
So a Richard Mill is a Rolex.
Okay. I'm not on that pay grade, I guess.
It's all right. It's all right. We had to do our homework.
On my way up to Maryland. Gone.
Man.
I like even that play. No. Whoa. Oh, go. Gone.
Yep.
The swag to that is sick. You know,
it was perfect.
Yeah, because you have to just have it in order to pull that off. Never have I been locked up in a world of misery. I need you, darling, to set me free. Come back, baby. Try me one more time. Oh, baby, I'm about to go out of my mind. I can't. Come back, baby. Try with me one more time. Oh, baby, I'm about to go out of my mind. I can't.
And other thing about this album too were the transitions. Like, there weren't fades.
No,
there weren't, you know, excerpts of something.
Very minimalistic too. The beats were very minimalistic that allowed him to really.
The song ends, the next one starts immediately.
Right. Which is perfect for his like raw style and approach to spitting too. Then the next one we're going on to, and shout outs to Santeria. Oh no, we're actually covering that one.
We're doing Santeria.
Okay, forgot about that one. All right, so we're going to do Santeria. Again, produced, hard-hitting beat again. But this one's a little different because this one, like Ali was mentioning, this one's more storytelling, more about his friend, the passing of his friend, and not really about coke.
This is the one song where not a lot of coke. I think there's a couple mentions, but it's nowhere near.
Yeah, as much as the other ones, the other tracks.
Nowhere near.
Now that the tears dry and the pain takes over, let's talk about this payola. Payola, you killed God's baby when it wasn't his will, and blood spill. We can't talk this shit over. The shit over. The Lord is my shepherd. I am not sheep. I am just a short stone's throw from the streets. I bring my offering. I will not preach. Awaken my demons. You can hear that man screaming. I'm no different than the priest Santeria.
Man.
I really thought you were gonna go into it. I was like, well, this is called Santeria. All of a sudden his voice changing.
My favorite part of that verse was when he said, you killed God's baby when it wasn't his will and blood spill. We can't talk this shit over. Right. Like, you killed a guy this is not a street guy. Like his friend is not a street dude. I forget the relationship, you know what I mean? But I know what he kind of explained is like, he's nowhere near the streets. Right. He's not a street guy, never sold nothing. Like, this dude was just a guy that was cool with me and loyal with me, and some dudes killed him. And that's why he was, you know, saying, like, we ain't nothing to talk about. Like, you just took out somebody that don't even belong in this field.
You know, this track reminds me of Jay-Z's Lucifer track. Because he talks about his friend, too, getting vengeance for his friend. You know, and it kind of, the Lucifer thing kind of like turned the demon in him, like, you know, on because his friend passed for no reason like that. But also I want to mention is that, you know, even the mindset of Pusha T, I think is dope because, like, even when he talked about the beef that he had with Drake, you know, he was like, it's a sport to him. That's all it was. Just a couple jabs here and there, like. But then once Drake mentioned his wife for no reason,
that was it.
It's like, Okay,
Gloves are
now
off.
I got to analyze you as a character. Like, what are we doing here? He said, like, what are we? What?
Now I gotta
She
dissect
had nothing
you
to do with this
at all.
You want to mention her name. Now I got to analyze who you are as a man. Like, what type of character would do that?
That's what it was.
I like that mentality because they were asking him in the interviews, well, don't you think it was too far? Da, da, da. He goes, at that point, I don't care. I don't
just
give
see
a fuck.
red.
He goes, I don't see
He
nothing.
said, all I see is red.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was it. I just see
love
red.
that. I love that. All right. So Santeria too, what is that really? That's more of like a
A cult, right?
some sort of like dark
Cult,
magic
cult to some, religion to others.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
I don't really want to go too much deep.
A song by Sublime. A song by Sublime.
We don't need to bust out the Ouija board or nothing out here.
Nah. You could get verse 2, Mark.
They say that death comes in threes. How appropriate. Triple back. They rush in like Soviets at the Kremlin. So that's their version of the White House, I believe.
Okay.
Kremlin. Searching for the green like a gremlin. Presidential emblem. Presidential tin on the shit that I'm driven in. So he's not even driving. I like that. Shows that he's rich enough to have a chauffeur.
Yep.
I just place orders and drop dollars. Rottweilers roam the grounds. The Glock hollers. The three of y'all too accessible. Seen all the wrong moves. Watching the Untouchables.
And so you gotta like analytically for lyrically, you gotta recognize what he's doing. Just the pronunciations. Rottweilers roam with the grounds. The Glock hollers like
even going back to Kremlin, driven in, presidential emblem.
driven in. Rottweilers is a hard one to rhyme too.
Yes.
I've been trying to rhyme that before. That one's not an easy one to rhyme.
Okay.
So that's also another. Just want to point that out.
Yeah. The three of y'all too accessible. Seen the wrong moves, watching the Untouchables. We don't do vegetables. Get flatlined. Welcome all beef, then the heat. Then we heat them with flat
We
irons.
don't do vegetables. We don't do vegetables.
We don't do
Welcome
vegetables.
all beef.
All beef.
But it's also a double entendre too. For we don't do vegetables. Like we're not gonna leave you in a vegetative state. Like you still got a chance. No, you're out of here. We do flat lines.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's dope.
Then we heat them with flat irons. Your plans are backfiring. Think of double crossing a priest. Hail Mary, repeat after me. Santeria.
Nice.
Yeah, flat line. Then it was what flat irons. That bend even. So there's a lot of little techniques that Pusha T is
Crazy.
very skilled at. That might go over your head as far as like. I mean, even when I think back on it, even in grinding, like he had these skills so early.
Yep.
on.
Yeah.
20, we talking 20 years, man.
Yeah.
And then the Spanish verse, Ya te vas en la
Oh yeah.
mañana.
Very dope.
Ya te vas en la mañana, you'll go in the morning or you'll go tomorrow. Aha, Los Angeles te esperan. Los Angeles await you. The angels await you. Es el fuego que yo conozco. I know the flames. Es el fuego que yo. Then it repeats. You know, you'll go in the morning. The angels wait for you. The flames that you.
Yeah.
The flames you remember.
Damn.
Loose translation.
It goes really dark, you know,
Yeah.
because he really cares about his friend here. He's out for vengeance.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this the third verse is kind of when he breaks down, when he reaches that breaking point where he's almost gonna go there, but
Yeah.
he chooses not to. He
Oh,
goes,
you know what? Really quick, that also reminds me of DMX. I think when he was Damon or
Damien?
yeah, Damien, where he was like battling that as well.
The demon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
battling that. So just thought it came
Yep.
in my head about
Absolutely. He goes, of all the things I've ever paid for, know that there's no price tag when I wage war. It's no more to pray for. Just get prayed on. Darken my doorstep. They told me the day's gone. You listening, Davon? As I talk to your spirit, for God's sake, I'm dealing with heartbreak. Checking my ego. I'm living with lost faith. I'm back in this hit. You ever seen Shark Tank? I pay them in small bills. All of them small face. I bet when we draw blood, you niggas will draw blank. Dress you in all black. Partner with all saints. Our numbers are all facts. My shooters give all thanks and all praise. No jail bars can save. Leave you like Malcolm where X marks your grave.
X marks your grave.
Ridiculous.
Leave him like Malcolm.
Wow, I gotta say that again. He said, our numbers are all facts. My shooters give all thanks and all praise. No jail bars can save. Leave you like Malcolm where X marks your grave. Hey, it's probably better this way. It's cheaper when the chaplain prays. Santeria. Wow.
That's another thing I got to mention about Pusha T too, because Pusha T has so many layers to him. Very smart guy, and I know Kendrick, you know, said some bar and They Not Like Us, where he was saying, you know, you're better off pushing T than pushing me.
Mm-hmm.
But to Pusha T's credit, like Pusha T he didn't even go all the way in. Like he could have. Pusha T could have went further as well.
The last thing he said Surgical Summer Volume 1.
Right.
Like he could have went further.
He could have.
Drake just backed out, and I think that was the wise move.
Yeah,
because it could have got ugly.
Pusha T's credit, like we really didn't see the full manifestation of what Pusha T could have.
It could have went darker, absolutely. And I like how he kind of ties it up at the end when he says, "Cheaper when the chaplain prays." So basically, rather than getting revenge and killing him, he's like, you know what, you'll just die in prison.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's kind of where that's him battling that good and evil, and I really want to pay for the hit to take these fools out, but you know what? Karma's gonna get you. You'll just die in prison.
Right.
That's basically what he says there.
Yeah,
I think
I was just gonna say because he's not really an evil person per se, but push come to shove, Pusha T, pun intended. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
Another pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if worse comes to worse, Pusha T has just in case an emergency, please break glass. Yeah. Behind that glass is Malice.
Come on now.
Yes.
If you ever be like, hey, I'm gonna need you to do something.
Who's the quiet dude? You don't mess with the quiet dude. Yeah, that's another good point.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
He has him in like a sane asylum wrapped up.
Right.
Granted, he's on his own spiritual journey. We respect that.
But it's an asylum.
Yeah, but it's like he has him like to the mainstream, I guess, right? But he's locked up like just ready to go. Take the leash off him, ready to go.
And while we mentioning No Malice, they just recently announced they're dropping an album. Clipse are reuniting for an album. They just announced that, I think, yesterday.
That's pretty big.
Yep. I think it was either yesterday or Friday. Like in the last couple of days, they just announced they are dropping an album.
That would be pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
But is No Malice still on the spiritual wave though?
Well, that's the key because that's to see what they're going to be talking about. Now they've done one song together, which was on Push's last album. Yeah. The last song is the first song they've done together since he became No Malice and went on the spiritual journey, but. It still was dope. It was a dope song, and No Malice brought a different perspective, but at the same time, it was like he could be him, and it still worked. It wasn't corny. Yeah. It didn't feel forced.
I'm sure either way it won't change nothing as far as
I don't see it.
Their chemistry.
And he gave you, even in the Clipse albums, like Malice would give you those gems early. He still was throwing those little spiritual nuggets back then before he really went fully, and gave his life to Christ completely. So. True. He always had that in him.
That's true.
So,
takeaways from this album, gentlemen.
We got one more song.
Okay. I'm sorry. My bad. We got one more.
Which he would say had we still have to cover Infrared.
We got one more song, yo.
Oh wow.
We got one more song.
The album's that quick.
I know.
You think you're done with it?
The Infrared. I forgot we got Infrared.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Infrared's a really important track because that's
it's
really
very important.
Really kind of.
This was the song that
takes it over.
This was the last straw before the beef started.
Right. So just to give some context, Drake did Two Birds with One Stone, where there were like subliminal disses there, and Pusha T's fan base was like, "Yo, you gonna respond to this? You gonna respond to this?" So Pusha T just kind of basically give his truth. It's his album.
Like literally this. I mean, that's what the whole Kendrick thing is so crazy because. As far as how it played out, it almost exact same.
Yeah, exactly.
For years, they're throwing subliminals. Drake throw a shot, Push throw a shot. I mean, they did it for about 5 years.
Right.
And then Two Birds, One Stone was like Drake's last subliminal.
Right.
And then Infrared was like the final subliminal. Like after this, then it got ugly. But because then Drake dropped in 12 hours. But yeah.
Infrared. Yeah, you know what I mean? Infrared. Yeah, you know what I mean? The game's fucked up. Beats is banging. Your hooks did it. The lyric penning equal the Trumps winning. The bigger question is how's the Russians did it. This, mind you,
alluding to the Russians.
Yeah, mind you, this is the time. Okay, let me just say this. This is a compliment to his album. This album encapsulates 2018 in a nutshell.
Yeah.
We're
right in the middle of Trump presidency.
Yeah. If you had an album that really wanted to, give you what it felt like in 2018, this album did that. So the bigger question is how the Russians did it. It was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin. Ghostwriter for Drake there. Very, very known. At the mercy of a game where the codes is missing. When the CEO's blinded by the glow, it's different. Believe in myself and the Coles and the Kendricks. Let the sock puppets play in the roles and gimmicks. Sock puppets.
Like he's really breaking down the industry and how, even with him having his issue with Drake, that's when he said when the CEO's blinded by the glow is different. At this time, Kanye and Drake are having this little love-hate situation going on. But Pusha's like, I don't care about none of that.
Right.
Like, what y'all got going on is what y'all got going on. I got an issue with this dude.
Right. Oh, dang. Shit, remember Will Smith won the first Grammy and they ain't even recognize Hove until Annie? Ooh. Because
True.
Hove had a really great album before all that.
Yep. Reasonable Doubt, No Love.
Yeah.
First album, he didn't get a Grammy until he sampled Annie for Hard Knock Life.
Right. So I don't tap dance for the crackers and sing Mammy because I'm posed to juggle these flows and nose candy.
Yeah. Woo! Now that right there, I gotta break down those couple bars. So he said, "So I don't tap dance for the crackers and sing Mammy." That first of all, he's talking about not wearing blackface and cooning for the industry.
Yeah.
And then, but then you fast forward when he did the story of Adidon.
Right.
Yep.
Was
It
the
all
picture
comes full circle, yeah.
Drake in blackface? Like it just was. It
That
was
picture
so
is so damning.
That picture is still to this day I cringe when I see it.
It says a lot because you don't know not to do that.
Right. You don't know that that wasn't okay.
In 2008, you don't know.
Right. Right.
And I know he tried to come up with a story about that, but it still didn't really.
He could get Mother Goose to tell that story. Still wouldn't work.
Yeah. Ferrari, my 40th, blew the candles out. Tom Brady'd you. I had to scramble out. They'd be riding these waves. I pulled the sandals out. Jefe Latin, my Grammy. I went the Spanish route. Ooh.
That's one of those bars that's, it doesn't mention the word cocaine or doesn't mention a brick or none of that, but there's still drug influence in that bar.
It's very
Jefe Latin,
dope.
my Grammy. I went the Spanish route. What?
Oh, now it's okay to kill baby? Looked at me crazy like I really killed the baby? Salute Ross because the message was pure. He see what I see when you see Wayne on tour.
All right, I'm gonna stop there. See there now he's breaking down. Some years before that, he on one of their mixtapes, he had like maybe 4 bars where he dissed Birdman and Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Just like 4 bars. It wasn't like a whole song or that. And that caused an uproar. So then, but then he said,
yeah, because they had a falling out where they didn't pay Pharrell, I think, for the
over
beat.
what happened to that boy.
Yeah.
So from that point on, Push ain't rock with them. But then he goes, he said, they looked at me crazy like I really killed a baby.
Yeah.
But he said, salute Ross because the message was poor. Because Rick Ross did a song going at Birdman kind of for the same thing.
Yeah, that's
except
right.
for his business dealings with DJ Khaled and Lil Wayne.
Right.
So he kind of stood up for him on that. So he said, salute Ross because the message was pure. He sees what I see when you see Wayne on tour.
Right.
Like, so, yeah, he's about to break that down.
Flash without a fire. Another multi-platinum rapper trapped and can't retire. Trapped.
You're touring because you have to.
Right.
I tour because I feel like it.
Right. Big difference. Get exposed. I see the cracks and I'm a liar. Shit, I've been exposed. I took the crack and built the wire.
What?
Now who do you admire? Your rap songs is all trying my patience. Them prices ain't real without inflation. I done flew it. I done grew it. Been a conduit. Monat bags on my bitches. I done blew it. See through it. Neck igloo it. Oh, what? Habla español. I eat to it.
Habla español. I eat to it.
Let Steven talk streaming and Shazam numbers. I'll ensure that you get in every gram from us. Let's cram numbers easily. The only rapper sold more dope than me was Eazy-E.
What?
How could you ever right these wrongs when you don't even write your
songs?
songs? So let us all play along we all know what for real been waiting on Push.
That was it. The only rapper sold more dope than me was Eazy-E. Like, for him to acknowledge that, and again, we don't know if that's 100% true.
No, but damn, it's still paying homage to
the
Eazy-E.
dude that came before him because
similarly to Kendrick, like he
built because Eazy literally built a record label off of Drug Money. Ruthless Records was built off of what he was doing.
Yeah, and Eazy was going to come back again he was trying to reunite NWA again. Like, imagine that. Like, how that played out.
So for him to, like I said, give that homage to Eazy, and Eazy, you gotta think this is the '80s, so he's doing it when it's really going on. You know what I mean? So that's why I always I love that line for him to to do that.
We also want to give credit to the fact of the song Infrared.
Yeah.
So we all know the backdrop now that Pusha wasn't going all out on this disc.
No.
So all he was doing was just pointing that infrared.
Oh,
he just pointed the infrared at him, knowing he got some in his sights.
That's crazy.
He can pull the trigger.
I never looked at it like
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep. That's literally he's just pointing the beam.
This is where Isaiah pulls up the predator scene.
That's crazy.
Dang. That's what he was doing.
He's just toying with him at this point because he didn't go all out.
No, and this is where the next move where Drake starts to then call out his wife.
Yep, he dropped Duppy Freestyle, which, by the way, I think that's Drake's best diss record. I like that better than Family Matters. I like it better than Back to Back. I think
Back to Back too.
I think of every diss record, Duppy Freestyle is my favorite Drake diss record. I was so happy when that song came out because it was fire, and I said, all right, Push, anything less than a kill shot, you're gonna lose. Because Push for about 3-4 days was a joke. It was Drake got him again. Drake about to win another beef. What's this dude gonna talk about? All he talk about is coke, blah, blah, blah. Like for 4 days, I remember it was Memorial Day weekend. So I remember this. That was the thing. And then obviously that Tuesday, it got dark.
Yeah, because once that picture dropped of Drake,
man,
he won right there.
Yeah, he was winning. He was winning before he said a word.
He didn't even have to rap.
Nah,
he won already.
It got dark. But that song was the infrared. Infrared was the like that.
The big revelation, about
you are hiding a child.
Hiding a child.
Yeah. Man, that line will always live. Just how he delivered it.
Yeah, it was like, I want to make sure you understand that this isn't me rapping. I'm just stating fucking
I'm just talking to you.
It's funny because I was listening to an interview. They were like, something's alleged. He goes, no. There's no alleged.
Nothing in here is alleged.
He goes, there's no alleged.
This is all facts.
This is real. He is hiding a kid.
Yep.
That is true.
These are nothing is alleged. It was crazy.
All facts.
All facts, though. But Infrared was the catalyst.
Yeah. Big ups to Pusha T pulling that off. Actually got a dub.
Yeah.
On Drake. Who at the time seemed unbeatable.
Yep. Because he was fresh off his
he mauled
Meek Mill.
He was. Him.
It looked like he couldn't lose.
Right. So that was really something to do that so early.
Yeah.
Like right off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Drake never lost a rap battle again.
What's the next beef he'll lose?
Stay tuned to 2024.
That's the thing too. I want to ask you guys because at the end of these episodes, well, I'll ask you after this. But takeaways from this album.
I mean, it's a quick, perfect album. Like I said, I mean, there's really nothing. It's very hard to find something wrong with it because one, it's only 7 songs, but he picked all 7 songs were great. There were no bad songs. All the beats were fire. The few features made sense. Like I said, he didn't waste one bar at all. Every bar made sense. Every hook was perfect. All the beats were perfect. He stayed on what he talks about. And again, like he always says in his interviews, at this point, he was like, I've been rapping for 15 years. You don't have to listen to Pusha T no more. So for those that keep complaining about what I talk about, I've been around so long, you don't have to listen to me anymore.
Yeah, he's really good at counseling.
Like he's like, you don't have to. It's okay. My fan base over here, I know who I'm speaking for. I know who I'm rapping to. And my shows are going to sell out the same way they've been doing.
Yep.
So I'm not trying to get new fans. Like he's made that clear.
Yeah. Very clear.
We have an album that has trimmed the fat on the excess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And left us with, a 20 plus minute album that
very efficient
qualifies in many regards in the hip hop landscape, in the landscape of accreditation with Grammys and of that.
Yep. Nomination.
we look at albums like this, and the only downside that we look at to it is maybe a couple more tracks. But I mean, if you're at a point where you're doing 7, hey, we're not complaining because you've been gone for a little while. We want you to give us what you got.
Mm-hmm.
A very focused, dense lyrical performance here within 7 tracks. Yeah. Giving you very high quality product in a short span of time. There's something to be said for that. And I think also too, what was special was that this was part of the Wyoming sessions, which was a very legendary session,
era.
Right?
That was an era.
That was a different time where, there's multiple tracks going on, like multiple albums, going on with Nas, with
Kid Cudi, Tiana Taylor, Kanye himself.
Yeah, so that was cool and special to be a part of that and to be the first one to lead that as well. Mm-hmm. So that's also a classic album you could put right next to his other albums that he's done with Clipse. Like this is definitely one up there. I love that fact that he is paying attention to the details, and that goes to this whole Daytona theme with the Rolex. In these luxurious items, there's so much attention to the detail, and that's what he does with his bars. He puts attention to that, and that there has to be something said for that. And it's, I think, a lot of times overlooked. That he is one that does that, but he's definitely one that does that.
Most definitely.
So, I was gonna go ahead.
I just want the little PSA for anything in the future. If the Clipse do reunite, the album better weigh a kilo. Like, straight up. That's how pure and raw and uncut I want. Give me 20 tracks so dense that they weigh a kilo. Straight up.
I need a couple keys on that album. Couple keys.
Chop it up.
So, it's supposed to be all for real too. So,
that's a throwback.
Bringing it back, all for real.
I was going to ask you guys now, going back to the question thing. We talked about this beef between Kendrick, between Drake, between even Pusha T and Drake. And this question was brought up in an interview, I think, to Pusha T. They were saying something to the fact that, these days it's different now because before rap beefs could end careers. Like your career could be done.
Oh, yeah.
After taking an L in a rap beef. And nowadays it's like, he took an L, we move on. What do you guys think to that? Like, is that something that we, as fans are like, okay with? Like, are you guys personally okay with, someone who takes an L that they continue on?
Yeah, I don't personally. Well, a couple things.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with that only because one, then it doesn't scare people into getting into wanting to compete. You know what I mean? I think if it was like automatic where if you took an L in a rap beef, your career is over, the chances of ever getting one in the future or more likely to getting one are far less. And I love competition over hip hop. It's a part of hip hop. I love unity. I love peace. I love collaborations. But every so often, I want to see 2 dope MCs go at it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still a sport to it. That's what separates hip hop from all other genres. It's the only genre where people claim to be the best and then you have to prove it. You know what I mean? Like you can only say I'm the best for so long before somebody challenges you. So the fact that, but at the same time, if a battle goes a certain way, you could take a loss. I think it's more so how you deal with the loss.
Yeah.
I think that's what more so, like, because, Jay-Z, for example, universally accepted, he battled with Nas, he lost. He's even, in kind of slick ways, said that he's lost that battle. But his career did just fine. He's done very well for himself.
Yeah, maybe it's a testament to your own.
It's a footnote. And on his end, too, he took an L, but he took an L to Nas.
Right.
Yes.
This is Nas we're talking about. Like, that's nothing really to sneeze at. Like, this is not like, you know what I mean? Jay didn't lose to, I'm not going to name no names, but just some of a lesser caliber MC.
Like this taking an L from Busta Rhymes or something.
You know what I mean?
Very high
like this is Nas we're talking about. This is Jay-Z and Nas, literally the peak of hip hop going at it. So there's no shame in that.
I'd rather have artists take an L than have their other L taken away, which is their life.
Come on now.
Okay.
We got to come back and learn that we've came from a school of like, hey, look, when rap beefs really go bad, they go bad by the barrel of a gun.
We have that one big example.
Yeah.
The
6ix9ine almost brought it back. Tekashi, he
tried.
almost brought it back full circle.
He
to
tried.
That. Yeah.
So I'm glad we're in a position where it's like it's not that serious into the avenue of like, yo, he dissed me, I'm gonna really get back at him. No. You're an artist, right? Okay, let the skills show it.
Right.
And you guys live to fight another day.
Shout out John Witherspoon.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. Like, you know, this isn't the Coliseum. Like, you guys still have a life to live outside of this, you know.
Right.
You know, but when you're in the cage,
The
hey,
arena,
look, you know,
you gotta
like,
go for it.
all bets are off, but make sure that, you know, you guys can, you know, fight again the next day.
As long as it sticks to the
You know,
art, we're good.
Someone's gonna take an L,
And that's
so just do your best to make sure it ain't you. You know.
And if you do, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
And I think the whole career ending thing it's a two layered because they took an L, but then maybe they were kind of on their way out to begin with.
Sometimes it's like that.
So they kind of fumbled their own ball, really. So I think it kind of it plays into that as well, probably.
Right. Mm-hmm.
As far as like people, I think that had their career kind of like ended. I mean, Ja Rule, that technically was ended.
That's
right?
the closest one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I was thinking more of like his job was outsourced by someone more effective.
Yeah. MC Shan when KRS One
he
battled
didn't
him.
recover. Yep.
Cannabis.
Cannabis didn't
sorta.
recover.
Cannabis got blackballed for real.
He did. He was never the same.
Yeah.
I mean, he still put out, you know, good music, but as far as there was a moment where Cannabis was like,
Right. He was
the next guy that was, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, they do all these freshman covers on Double XL, but like, I remember back when The Source did one in 98, Cannabis was on it. Like, 97, 98, Cannabis was like, yo, he's
Machine
the
Gun
guy.
Kelly was a recent one. Machine Gun Kelly was
Oh, yeah. He doesn't rap anymore.
He went to different genres.
He had to get out the genre. And honestly, that's what I mean. They laughed at me at the barbershop, but I'm like, that could be Drake. Right. I'm not saying it's gonna be, but it could be where he's doing other things. And again, I'm not knocking it, but in hip hop, man, it's gonna be hard.
Hey, if we're right, we predicted it.
Right. And if I'm wrong, so what? It's like, and if I'm wrong, if he come out with a great rap album or something, or sells, 5 million or whatever, cool, good for him. He's still off.
Interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how he plays.
I'm very interested to see how he, because this ain't like Pusha T. See, the difference with Push was, on
Pusha
a
T
let
it go.
And plus
didn't let it go.
And plus on a popularity scale,
right?
It's
the whole West Coast.
Yeah.
West Coast is notorious for rap beefs, first of all.
And Kendrick is every bit as popular as Drake is.
Right.
Like,
Pusha T gave him the standing 8 count.
Yes.
Like, you knock somebody out in boxing, the ref gets him up for 8 counts.
Right.
Kendrick was like,
he's still
he's ref tries to get in there.
He's still on the ground. He's still on the ground.
Yeah.
He has yet to get up.
Yeah.
Like,
and it made me really proud to be a part of California right now, too.
No,
I'll
seriously.
say that for sure.
No, on the real side, because the West Coast gets a lot of disrespect in hip hop, and to see him shine that light and be the guy that I always
carry
thought he
it,
was,
right? To really carry it.
And,
that's a tall task to deliver.
And I mean, Charlemagne said it after the concert. He said this was less about Drake and more about Kendrick proving that he's the undisputed heavyweight champion of hip hop.
Yeah,
like that's the title he gave him. I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. Forget King of the West. He's the king of hip hop right now.
Still about Drake though, because I think he's the poster child of this. What he represents, the industry.
Well, again, we're gonna see. This is the test now. This is the test for sure.
Let's see if he could.
Does the Empire Strike Back?
This is the test.
Let's see.
This is the test. This is the test, man.
Oh my God. Yeah. Let's see.
All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Us talking about Pusha T, definitely a legend, pioneer in the rap game and this genre. So definitely check it out. Daytona is a classic album.
Absolutely.
7 tracks, easy listen, 21 minutes. Oh man, if you're not listening,
Yeah,
if you haven't
that's
listened
the
to that,
commute LP.
there's no excuse. There's no excuse.
The work commute LP.
There's literally no excuse. It's
No
21
excuse.
minutes.
So check that album out. Of course, we already mentioned Mark has the pin going on, so make sure to check out that link in the description. Then Ali also has a book, so make sure you check that out. Yeah, Mark, let him
To the MCs, you drop a mic, drop a like, stay tuned. New freestyle. DJ Clue.
Oh. No bombs today.
Tell Flex to drop a bomb on it.
New freestyle.
New freestyle. Oh yeah, we actually do have a freestyle coming up. All right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Go.
All right, so we got one produced by myself, actually. One of the first beats I've ever made.
Okay.
We'll jam out to that. Because we couldn't pull out anything else that didn't have like copyright, restriction to it.
Smooth.
All right.
Sleep on your own beats like that. Yeah.
Set it off. Set it off.
Yeah. Let me kick it off first with the first verse as I start to plan this out. I didn't rehearse, so yo, I know I gotta drop that one. Oh, because I'm gonna knock you back over, gonna slip it down your purse. I got that coca. Yo, there's no joker. As I come through, I'm like Slick Roker. As I come through, trying to slide right over. Yo, I know I got that supernova about to explode. Yo, you already know this episode I'm dropping. Yo, I'll never stop tick-tocking. Hey, yo, I'm keep talking like I'm podcasting. Yo, with Mark and Ali, you see, we is coming around like Muhammad Ali. We the big three, but yo, there's not just one big me. But yo, there's not a duplicate like us. You can't copycat that, Jack. You try to come around, mimic that. Trying to plan, trying to rehearse it, trying to duplicate, but you can't, like the fingerprint on my hand. Yo, you know we are the man. Yo, you can't follow that like mics and men, like mice and men. I be coming and dicing them. Don't want to come around and trying to suspend. I'll let you in, Mark.
Let me in again and again when I'm flexing my pen. Yo, I've done it again and again, and I passed all millennias. Going off with the penmanship, and when I'm going, I'm like on the piano chord. Going off with the dope sound of my youth. I'm about to blast you like I'm John Wilkes Booth, like I'm at Ford's Theater. Many metaphors ago and 4 scores. Yo, I keep on thinking. Yo, I'm steady pacing, tall like I'm Abe Lincoln. Yo, I keep on going. Yo, this ship ain't sinking. Reverse Titanic. Y'all best to panic because I'm making this trek across the Atlantic. Cause I stay in cold freeze. I stay with these breezes on my side. Yo, I keep dope little rhymes in my side pocket and never ever try to doubt me yet, because I'll blast you with the infrared just yet. Yo, I'm a predator, keep on going. Yo, especially when I'm traveling through the Serengeti. Everyone looking at through the prey. And when I'm hoping and praying with Ali and Zay, doing all this triangle, running the triangle like I'm Phil Jackson in the action. Peace to Carl Weathers, the one who was in Action Jackson. While I repeat a vanity, especially when I'm thinking about trying to invade her fucking panties, G. Yo, that was me back when I was 16. Yo, that stays up in the files, mad classified. Yo, kick it to Ali for the dope little rhyme.
All right, let's go. Yo, I stay behind bars like 25 to life. I come with 25 rhymes and spit 25 times. Spin around the world and hit 25 dimes. Do it like I do it 25 knives. Sharpen like the pencil. Sharpen when I sharpen like a Ginsu. Off the top of the dome and going home when I roam. And break your microphone when I do it to death. Do it from right to left because I spit it like that, like I do it to death. But it's not a jam, but I do it like I'm the man, like I do it from the right and the left hand. I'm just spitting because I do it like that. You don't even want to do this, but I do it like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do it my best because I don't really be rhyming, but I know I'm from the West. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like it, don't matter, cause I'ma keep spreading like it till your brain splatter. You know what I'm saying? that's how we do it. You don't like it, then fuck you like 4 times, like 4 middle fingers. I eating them chicken dinners, you know what I'm saying? I don't really care, cause if you don't know, then I really know what to wear. I like rhyming with my eyes closed, wearing nice clothes. Then I do it with till the mic froze. Put it in the freezer, you like Freezer and Dragon Ball Z. Kamehameha, yeah, turn Super Saiyan. You don't know what I'm saying, but I know I'm not playing. Pass it to Zay, and never keep on doing it.
Yo, keep on doing it.
Yes, sir.
Doing it like LL. Hey, yo, I'm trying to never fail. Coming through, yo, I'm trying to make a sale. Coming through like a yayo, like Tony Yayo.
Hey.
Yo, never trying to say so. Yo, what they trying to say like Stone Cold when I say so. Cause I said so. No matter when you try to get that hard flow. Hey, yo, we try to come like that flow through the Nile. Yo, I spit for a while, or I'll see you after a while like a crocodile. I'm coming through like West Nile with that contagious disease. And yo, I'm trying to spread that. Yo, all across the world, yo, I love that. Yo, we gotta go another round of that, but we gotta pause for a second to let it go because I gotta rewind and try to tap the flow. You know, I gotta copy and hit control and copy and then paste like it's just like that. So casual like nothing. And yo, I know that is something when I come and spread that disease coming through like I'm spreading the seeds. Yo, whoever knows what that's gonna bring some trees. Hey, yo, you falling on your knees trying to pray to that. Try to pray to that wind, to the big tree. Yo, trying to go to it like Pocahontas. Yo, I'm coming through, trying to come through like Nostradamus when I'm planning what's happening in the future. Yo, you already knew that. I'm here to capture the future, coming back in time. Yo, like Doctor Strange, yo, controlling time with my hand and the green emblem. When I come to see them, don't wanna try to test me. I'm about to pass it back to Mark C.
Yo, on top of the project like I be the Marcy from Queensbridge. I do it like this, yo, I keep on going, my style's mad vital. I be bad to the bone like Killer Instinct and Spinal. Yo, never forget what I do so tough because I'm raw to the bone like I'm Saber Wolf. Yo, I keep on going, really off the proof, really off some 80 proof. Yo, I keep on going with some moonshine type rhymes, get you drunken in your step because you're like, damn, Mark F can really catch wreck. He does it without a second left. Yo, I'm trying to catch these Usain Bolt type numbers and kinda keep you locked down in a slumber with a KO type this. Yo, KO like you snorted way too much yayo. About to pass out like Tony Montana did in Scarface, but I'm from Fontana, so I'm from a different place. Yo, kinda brings me back to this thing that I was thinking real tough. I've never seen anybody inside a Mattress Plus. I really think that they're trafficking, but this is all allegedly. I'm just thinking all these things. I'm thinking all of it from my lyrical weaponry. It just comes all sporadic, improvisational, but it's mad sensational, especially when I'm thinking I'm rocking from every nation or so. Yo, from here, yo, I catching wreck with a few. Here, I'm unstoppable. From here to the fucking Galapagos, you could hear about me. Yo, on even the top of Everest, I've been catching wreck with all the people who want to see a sample of my intellect. Yo, I've been in ciphers with everybody that you could see, even with kicking ciphers of Jesus Christ. We're battling with 16s. I'm sorry for being blasphemous, Isaiah, but that was the thing that was coming off in my brainwaves. You see them? Yo, I kinda meant to say that I was riding bars with the Ayatollah, or someone else with like a bone soldier, or maybe with literally kicking bars with Eisenhower or something. Yo, give it off to Ali for one time.
Yo, check it. Yo, from the 909, yo, my girl is fine. It don't even matter when I do it for a quarter or a dime. I keep it kicking the rhyme, and it don't even matter cause I'ma break it down. Yo, hate, hope, and hip hop, that's Triple H. You a faker, but no, not an undertaker. It's rest in peace if you smell what I'm cooking. Yeah, I got on the J's, I see you looking. You know, you took too long, your girl took in. Yeah, that's how we rap up in here. I keep it simple, cause I do it, I don't got pimples. You don't like it, then screw it, then I'll do it. It keep on flowing, and I'ma keep going, cause I'ma keep rhyming, keep big timing. I don't really know, cause the beat is so sick. We doing big numbers, you can suck my... Yeah, that's how I'ma do it. I ain't even gotta say it, cause you know I was gonna go there, but I didn't. Cause I'ma keep on winning, and I'ma pass this one and I'm out, y'all.
Yo, pass it out like we out. Let me take us all home. Yo, we about to just go and roam out the street once we're done. Yo, we had our fun kicking the freestyles and all that under the sun and moonlight. Hey, yo, that's pretty sick how Ali's on the mic. Yo, I never heard it until tonight. But yo, those flows are immaculate. Yo, they came from a good place. So yo, I know that now. Yo, he has that skill. So now every day we could be exercising the skill. Yo, cause that's really dope. Yo, we got the sharp flow. And I'm like, yo, man. Hey, yo, he got the bars like cocaine in the trunk. I don't know, man. Yo, he got that number one. We're coming through with the coca. About to put you all out. Kinda dishing out the podcast. You're pushing it. Pushing the P. That's what I mean when I be saying that. Yo, kick them like the stream. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. Because you don't want to be that guy who just let us go by. And then we're lost in the stream. Couldn't find us anymore. And by the time you did, it was too late. You missed all the moments. You missed all the shows. You missed the live reactions. You missed all the flows. All the interviews we had with Mos and his brother.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've done it, man.
That's
but
how we do it.
Yeah,
That was
we need
hard.
to exercise that
was hard.
skill.
Ali's out here trying to grab Rookie of the Year, bro.
What? Coming out
The
the gate.
shirt, I had to look at your shirt.
Coming
man.
out the gate.
I had to do
That's
the wrestling
dope.
with looking
That's
at the
dope.
shirt.
Yeah, peace to Ali for that one.
had to
man.
do that, man. Had to.